Welcome to Gaming with MJ and Blue.
That's right. Let's talk gaming. This is a place where we talk about, ladies and gentlemen, this is the place where we talk about gaming. We talk about weekly news as well as Minecraft, as well as the continuing production of Hytale. But that's not all. We talk about all kinds of gamings, all kinds of topics, past, present, future, whatever. So let's get started. Let's do a brief discussion of what we've been doing this week. Go ahead, Blue.
All right. Well, obviously we are an episode behind because we were unable to get together last week. I was gone, and our schedules just did not line up that week. So
12
obviously,
days. 12 days.
it's our first episode we missed. First week we missed. I mean, for an episode. So that's, I guess, it's bound to happen, and that's okay. I guess it's not a big deal.
It's a crime.
It was, yeah. I felt very bad, but
Oh,
couldn't
well.
avoid it. But anyway, yeah. So I was out of town. I actually went camping. Had a lot of fun. Just enjoying the outdoors. And downside is, I felt like I needed one more day. One more day. I think I would have been good. But other than that, it was enjoyable. So I had a lot of fun with it. Were you gonna say something?
No, it just
Oh,
sounds like fun.
I thought you were gonna say something. As far as gaming wise, I played some Star Trek Armada this week, so I ended up getting that. Old strategy game. I loved this game growing up, and it has the exact same feel. Um, Obviously, it's very dated, and you actually get the characters from the shows actually voicing the characters in the game. So that's actually really cool having that little side to it. So that was that game has been fun to play around with, but I haven't. I've been also trying to catch up on some other stuff, so that's been about the extent of the gaming side of things. One of the things I've been working on is my little app that I'm working on called Nexus, and it is basically a kind of like a productivity app for creative people. So it's based on tools, creating tools that will be useful. I actually made a video about it. It kind of goes over uh, the current setup that I have. It's early access, obviously, or early stages, I mean. So uh, it still has a lot of polishing that it needs, but I'm getting a lot of little features fixed and going as I work on it. So like I'll work on some things, I'll get something functioning, then I'll realize, oh, you know what, that needs a little tweaking, or man, visually that doesn't look very good. I need to adjust that. So I get on it, and then I get things kind of going to where I want it to be. I get it. I can't say that I'm 100% happy with everything that is quote unquote done. I still think there's some polishing that I'm going to need to do as I go along with it. But for the most part, trying to get the primary features done first. But I get in a rabbit hole of, ooh, that doesn't look good. I want to fix that, so that I'll fix something, even though it's not really core functionality. It's a funny process developing an app, and hopefully, if it works really well, I'll hopefully make it available to the public. We'll see what happens. So anyway, that's been me. How about you, MJ? What
All
have you
right,
been up
thanks.
to?
Well, I've been enjoying, since I got crossover working, I've been enjoying those two games I got working on that, which was Subnautica 2, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Been, like going through the story, just not really fast, just picking up this and that, from watching YouTube, or I watch Twitch for a while or something, watch someone play. And then I get inspired, like, oh, I'm going to go find that. I can go find that, so I go find it. Or I'm just continuing the technology tree. That's basically what you do,
Mm-hmm.
right? Subnautica, you just go through the technology tree. I mean, that's the whole game, really. So, I mean, sure, it's a story behind it somewhere, but you're just really just making your living arrangements better and better, and building your tool set. Another one is Hardspace Shipbreaker. I have played that so long that I am way past the story. And all it does when you pass the story is it drops you into this forever mode where you're just playing the career,
Mm.
and you start in the game at like -$4 billion, so you're like $4 billion in debt. I mean, something crazy.
Just a little bit, you know, not a lot.
Well, it's dystopian type, nightmarish, futuristic. Your clone is just being harvested to constantly do work for the company, the
Oh boy.
company. So at some point, there's kind of in the story, there's basically they stop that, and so then you actually start making a little money. So you, I'm now, I think, upwards of like $10 billion positive. So you
Hmm.
you can just keep making money,
Not
but
bad.
it's still fun. It's still fun. I don't die that much. I'm pretty good at it, right? But you know, it's just fun. I would say, later when we talk about the cozy games, it's kind of it turns into like a cozy game there at the end. Once you
Mhm.
pass a story,
Mhm.
you're not dying every day because you messed something up, because you
Mhm.
didn't know how a tool worked or something like that. Because basically they're throwing you out into space with the most dangerous tools known to man, and you can easily chop your own leg off or something. It's just stupid stuff. I mean, you can't actually do that, but you can easily blow yourself up inside a ship because you forgot to decompress the compartment or something.
Mhm.
It will totally let you. Hey, that compartment's not decompressed. Well, that's okay.
Wow.
Boom. Half the ship blows away. I mean, it's it's, it's horrific, really. But uh, in,
Horrific, and
in
yet you're laughing.
in a way, it's humoristically horrific, yes, but it's also it's a little bit of a slow walk after you're done with it.
Mm.
After you're done with the story, and you're good at it. You don't make those silly mistakes anymore. Well,
Mhm.
not as often anyway. I still make them. So I've been just doing those two things.
Nice.
I also
That's
had a
fun.
week of training, so it's very intense training. So I've been in that. So there's no way I could have made a podcast. I mean, it was just that that intense. I had no time. So it happens.
So it wasn't just me.
No, well, I mean, it was good timing, I guess, for both of us just to say, "Hey, I'm checking out this week."
Yeah. If we can, we'll try to do a little bit better with planning some stuff ahead so that if when we do have stuff going on, maybe we can pre-record an extra episode or something and have it released. I know we did that once. There was a week that we were able to manage it, but can't always plan over over everything, right?
I guess I thought this week would not be that intense, and then I just totally misjudged.
Mm.
So, anyway.
It happens
So,
too.
ready to move on to the news?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, I'll go ahead and talk about Minecraft.
Sounds
So,
good.
Mojang has rolled out the new Minecraft edition 26.2, of course, but this was kind of a compilation of updates. I guess you were saying it's kind of an article about all the updates so far. So
Mhm.
kind of bringing everybody up to date. You could just read this one article, but it was extremely long. So I'm going to kind of summarize. So it's basically this huge wave of updates, which is kind of fresh when you think about it. I mean,
Mm.
for Minecraft to pull this out is pretty good. So you've got basically, along with all the optimizations and other things they always work on, you've got um, this new thing to play with. Called the what is it? What do we call it? The
Sulfur
the
cube.
the sulfur cube, and then also what's the name of the sulfur biome, I guess, or whatever you want to call it? Sulfur
Sulfur
springs, sulfur
caves.
cave.
Yep,
Yeah.
caves,
So
yeah.
I mean, it's the most sickliest looking color to me. That I would call it a baby diaper yellow,
Eh. Oh boy.
but there's also Cinnablock and other things. So Cinnabar,
Mhm.
and then there's that sulfur, of course, which has its own abilities and things. So this article really summarized it. So it talked about everything new, like you've got the potent sulfur, you've got the sulfur spike that it has now, the little things they're building. There's
Mhm.
all the different music and sound effects that they've played.
Yeah.
The That's great. I mean, all these. Not only is there new actual background music tracks, but they've actually played with the advancements of being able to do new sound and
Yeah.
the way sound sounds. I don't know how do you say that, the way sound sounds.
And I like that
They've
new
also
soundtrack, that new song "Bounce" that they added. That one's really
yeah
good.
yeah
The new disc.
yeah yeah. I always love the new discs. There's like sometimes I like one so much I just keep playing it over and over. But yeah, I always like them. There's also the new Friends thing, so
Mhm.
that's kind of cool. I mean, why would that not be cool? That's great, especially given how it works, where you don't need to like poke holes through your firewall and get all that kind of junk done. Hopefully that works well, where you don't have to like do that. So
Mhm.
hopefully that works as well as it's supposed to. Anyway, that's pretty good. I mean, that kind of feels like Realms. So they're kind of always working on that anyway, right? So they now it's just a way to doing it just in normal Minecraft.
Right.
There's also some graphics changes, tweaks. Uh, there's of course blocks, items, and entities. They all kind of tweak and play with how they sound or the user interface they've played with. So that's good to see. Um, so much stuff for the server properties too. Like they've really changed server properties, and you can really tell that they're getting ready to put this sulfur cube stuff in. And you know what it's made for, of course. We've already talked about it, which is like mini games and things.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's coming along. So given they did this little summary, what does that mean? Does that mean it's that they're getting ready to say, all right, this is the last update. We're pushing it out. Is that what that means?
Well, I think that it's technically out now. Like, it's officially been released. So, this
But it's
is,
still beta. Beta.
well, I mean, Minecraft's always beta. No, but this is the most recent, like, anybody that downloads Minecraft, this is the version that they're gonna get off the bat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So it
let's
is the
go.
base. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense then to just like, let's summarize the whole thing.
That's why they made that article, yep.
Yep. So it's actually good for you. So, if you want to go check it out, if you've been ignoring it ever since and you just want to just read everything, it's all right in one place. So go for it. It's on Minecraft.net. There it is.
Cool.
How about Hytale?
Hytale. Okay. So we'll get into a little bit of Hytale here. As usual, these are a lot of the behind the scenes functionality stuff with Hytale. This article came out. It's the pre-release update 6 part 4. So this came out on June 18th, 2026. So some of the big things, features that they've added in this one is a new color tool for to creative mode. So color tool can be found in the specialized tools section within the creative inventory, and it has 3 modes to select from. Coloring mode, which allows you to replace blocks you are aiming at with another and can preserve shape variants while doing so. Gradient mode allows you to paint smooth color transitions across an area, and shading mode, which applies lighter and darker tones based on a chosen light source, surface angle, or a custom palette. So, some really nice functionality for some of the creative tools. I think that when all these creative tools get finished, you're talking about a massive tool set that people are going to be able to create amazing worlds with. So I really look forward to seeing what people end up creating with this. We also have a lot of other things. They're working on trigger volume tools, UIs, quality of life. Like server discovery screen can now be navigated with a controller. So they're trying to get controller support working well. Is That's on there. What they're working on is also. And then just a bunch of bug fixes. So there's a lot of different things with NPCs and portals and all this other stuff. But bug fixes are normal. So I would recommend, if like the Minecraft article, if you really are interested in getting a deep dive, uh, take a look at this article. It's got a lot of excellent information on it, and you'll be able to really see all the little nuances that they're doing. If that doesn't interest you, we always try to cover the highlight. But yeah, at least if it's there, you can take a look if you want. So I'd say that kind of gives you just a basic overview of the new Hytale updates as well, or at least their pre-release updates. And they did give you tell you how to access those too. When you got to enable it in your launcher, you got to go to your settings, and then you can click on pre-release. That allows you to play with the pre-releases. So if that's something you're interested in, that's how you access it.
Fun times.
Hmm.
So the next thing we're going to do is general news, and so these are just some short tidbit things. Both of them are yours actually. So why don't you go ahead and go through those?
Yeah, just a couple little things that I saw this week. I didn't get a whole lot of time. I know there's other interesting game stuff, but timing wise, I just didn't have enough to pull out a lot. One thing that is still something that's being talked about, and it's how PlayStation is going to be pulling out of the PC ports for their games. I hope that doesn't mean they're taking away what they've already put, because there is a couple PlayStation PC ports that I would like to get on Steam. So hopefully that doesn't mean they're getting rid of everything. Hopefully that just means they're no longer going to be adding, which is still sad in my opinion. I would much prefer it if they did that, but from what I saw, some of the articles, there's a lot of reasons that they're claiming why they're pulling it out. Not financially feasible. They aren't making the amount of money that they'd like to, selling them on PC, all these different things. Whatever the real reasons are, I don't know. But to me, it's a sad thing because PlayStation does make good games. It just, depends on your taste. And it's sad that that won't be a thing very much in the future. But at the same time, I'm okay with consoles and different things having exclusives. It's one of the things that drives people to those platforms. So to me, it's a mixed bag for me because I can't afford to have all these consoles. So I stick with PC. Let's see here. The other tidbit I pulled out, which I thought was interesting, if anybody owns the Marvel's Spider-Man 2 video game, they're going to be getting the brand new day Spider-Man suit to wear soon. So nice little update, just a little cosmetic update to the game. So if you want to swing around in the new suit, you're going to be able to do that. Anyway, these are just a couple tidbits, and hopefully next week I'll have a bit more to share. We'll have a bit more of general news as well, a little more detailed discussions. But yeah, I'd say that kind of covers
Well, I don't know any gamers that like to collect interesting things. So yeah,
it. Right.
interesting cards or anything like that. Okay, so let's move on to tools of the week, or this is not necessarily a tool, but a website, a program, or a mod. Could be a tool. I guess I had the only one in this case,
Yeah, I
so it
didn't.
was.
I didn't have much this week. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. This one I'm going to pull out something that I've known about for a long time, and I've actually bought some of their products. It's called paperrealms.com. So there's two R's in the middle, paper and then realms, that's two R's. So what they are is they're basically paper crafting things that you could do. Uh, if you've got a weekend and you got the kids there and you want to just have them do some crafty building stuff, get some cardboard, get the printer, print out some of these things, and then just go to town. Now you will have to buy it. They are PDFs, and you pay for the PDFs. I think with probably $20 you could have a lot of material that you could print and then play with. You can make little stairs and make little houses and things like that. I did that for like a weekend one time. I just spent like Saturday afternoon kind of playing with it, and it's sort of like a session of Legos. Like you're just enjoying things and putting things together. I would recommend though that when you print, to print it on normal paper and then glue
Hmm,
the normal paper to thick paper. So that way you're
yeah,
not
it
trying to
makes
print
sense.
on hard paper, like really thick paper. Don't print on thick paper. Print on normal paper and then glue it. So get yourself some paper glue or Elmer's glue or whatever, and just go to town. And of course you're going to get real messy. So just get messy. And what you're going to have is like these cool environments, like little old medieval towns and stuff like that you can kind of play with and make. And I liked it. I made little staircases and I made little rooms, and it's almost like you're making little dioramas, that kind of thing. So I found them to be pretty clever, neat, interesting. I um I bought a few things. So you basically download the PDF and then you can print out of that PDF whatever you want. So you can, if you like the thing that's on page 3, just print page 3, that kind of thing. And then it's got videos online at paperrealms.com that you can. They've got tips, helpful tips when you're building things, and those are worth viewing because they're only a couple minutes, and it's worth like getting situated with how things work and how they print things versus how you're expected to put it on. So it's worth just knowing what you're doing.
Hmm.
All right, with that, let's go to our primary topic, which we now call From the Minds of MJ and Blue. What makes a game cozy?
The fun topic.
Now we switched topics. We
We
got to be
did, yeah,
honest. So it was
yeah.
going to be about generational gaming, but that got so intense with our research that we had to say, okay, let's push this off.
Yeah.
So now we're just going to do cozy. So let's do cozy. How do you define cozy, first of all?
So for me, I think of a cozy game as something that obviously there's nothing really intense to it. Something that you can sit back, you can just kind of just cruise along doing some things, and it doesn't require a ton of intense thinking or effort in general. So to me, that and good soundtrack too. Soundtrack has to be key in there because you got to enjoy while you're playing, hearing some nice music while you're doing it. So to me, that's kind of what I think of when I think of cozy. How about you?
Yeah, I think of not something life and death. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
lose your character, you're gonna lose your stuff, you're gonna about to die. There's something on the other side of that hill, and it's gonna eat you.
Mhm.
Or I guess if you find that relaxing, maybe that is that. I don't know. Is that
Yeah.
relaxing to you? That's not relaxing to me. Well, it could be. Now wait a minute. Hear me out. So the long dark is kind of. I mean, yes, that wolf is on the other side of that hill, and it's gonna eat your face. But he's there, and he barks and whines, and you can hear him before you approach, as long as you're paying attention.
Right.
And so most of that game is a walk through the snow, right? Crunch, crunch, crunch,
Mhm.
crunch as you're walking through the snow, right? So
Right.
it's kind of cozy.
So you're thinking there are some games that probably do merge the cozy genre with maybe other genres that kind of
Survival-ish.
slightly survivalish. I guess that would make sense.
Well, think about like you got the truck simulator on here. So I think you're talking about American Truck Simulator, ATS.
I
Now
thought of you with that one. Yeah.
I played that a lot, yes, and I recorded myself. I've got tons of YouTube videos about that. But you can still crash, right? If you're not,
Mm.
if you're looking off at something else and like come back and like, oh, how did I hit that guy? That can easily happen. And you're also thinking of the business at the same time. Like you're picking up something, buying something, selling something. You're trying to build your business. You're trying to make money,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. And same with you've got farming games listed too. Farming games, you kind of have a strategy, right? You got to build.
Mhm.
You gotta farm, build, and then your sell, buy and sell, that kind of thing. So it's there's a bit of survival-ish to it. Like you gotta
Mhm.
think, right? So I guess I would call it different levels of relaxing,
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay. Yeah. I can see it. Yeah, I think of like farming simulators. There's a lot of different styles I've played and seen. Obviously, the actual farming simulator is a game, and you actually do real farming, or at least it copies real farming as well as it can. And yeah, that can you're planting crops, letting them grow. We've probably all seen games like that. I think of uh, Stardew Valley. That's another game that I would call cozy, but it's just a very simple same thing. You're just building up your farm area. You're building up your town area. You're getting to know the NPCs in the area. Uh, that's kind of a cozy type thing. Uh, Even Minecraft. I think you'd agree that there's aspects of Minecraft that could be considered cozy, right? What do
Yes,
you think? Yeah,
but it is survival too, because you got
exact.
you know
Yeah,
that that spider's about to land on your head.
yeah. I think if you wanted Minecraft to be true cozy, you'd have to play in like peaceful mode or something like that.
Ugh, who does that?
Yeah, exact. Yeah, some people do. Some people can't handle the intensity of playing on normal. They have to play on peaceful,
Mm.
which is fine if that's you. That's cool. That's fine.
You
That's
know,
everybody plays differently.
Long Dark does that too. They've got a
Yeah.
mode called Voyager
Yeah.
where the 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 wildlife will attack you, but only if you really make it mad. You really have to
Otherwise
go
they
after the
avoid
bear.
you.
Yeah, otherwise they
Yeah.
avoid you. They'll run away.
Mm.
I mean, you can get them to attack you, but it's like really tough to do.
Hmm.
Not like the rabbits, but the
Attacking
wolves.
rabbit.
Yeah, it's not like Monty Python rabbits. Ah.
Yeah, the white rabbit with
Yeah.
red eyes.
So yeah, there's plenty of cozy games. Matter of fact, if you just throw that into Google, you'll get things like Animal Crossing and Slime
Yep.
Rancher. Um, there's plenty of like silly things that you can play that don't mean anything. That I guess you're progressing, right?
Mhm.
Like Stardew Valley, you're progressing. Like you're
Yeah.
buying seeds, selling seeds, you're getting to know people, and then you unlock something, and then now you can do that. So I mean that's kind of cool. I guess what most
Mhm.
people would call is grinding. Like
Yeah, I would imagine cozy games do kind of have like a grind to them.
I guess what would you consider grind versus cozy?
Repetitive tasks, I think. But again, that could translate to cozy. So, because in cozy games, you do kind of have repetitive tasks you got to do over and over again. So,
Stardew Valley, you gotta plant things, wait, come back,
hmm
farm.
hmm
I mean, I haven't played it to like its end, but I've played it. I own it.
hmm yeah, me
American
too.
Truck Simulator. You're slowly building, your own skill as well as building a company. And then you're hiring other
hmm
drivers. And they work for you and they earn money. So while you're out earning money, they'll earn money. So you come back and you got extra thousands of dollars. You can buy a new truck.
hmm
So there is a there is kind of, what do they call it, a hit to your hormones. Like that hormone that hits you, that gives you a nice feeling, like you've accomplished something.
mm
However, uh,
In endorphins,
yeah,
is that what?
like you get a
Right?
little
I
hit
think.
of endorphins, yeah, and then, but it's just not as intense with
Mm.
cozy, right? Maybe
hmm
that's a difference. We can call that different. I don't know. I like them. I like these kind of games, and I would have even called, like the mode I'm in now with Hardspace Shipbreaker, where I'm way at the end. I've earned plenty of money that I could end the story at any time. But the thing is you don't do the last step of the story until you're ready to quit completely. You're
Mm.
basically quitting the job and you're taking off a wild blue yonder as a perfectly happy person doing your own business. But that's the end. Um, Speaking of that game, I wouldn't have mentioned this, but I just thought of it. So there's a Discord that started about that game from the actual manufacturers of the game, the publishers. And that's kind of weird to take an old game that's people have already played to death and and 5 years later to start a Discord on it. So
Hmm.
many people are thinking they're going to see a 2, Hardspace Shipbreaker 2,
Okay.
or maybe they're going to go where something with it because they did build, oddly enough, they built their own engine to do the space. You're out there doing spacewalks and you're chopping up ships. So as I understand it, if I'm not wrong, it is your own. They did kind of develop their own little game engine, so it's not like
hmm
Unity. they had to make their own because it has kind of new weird physics, and some of their physics are a little weird. Like in the beta, it was bad, but they've got it like dialed in really good now.
Hmm.
So maybe they're gonna take it and do something else with it. But it can be like that. I also put in this word here that makes me think of this word when you're doing games like that, and it's called cathartic.
Mhm.
Cathartic is a experience or an activity that provides relief from strong pent-up emotions such as anger, sadness, or fear by allowing you to release them.
Hmm.
So I feel like games are like that. They can be very cathartic because you are doing something that is out of your life, has nothing to do with your life, no connection to your life whatsoever. And you're just stepping into this other little play area, right? And you're just kind of doing something. You're just
Mhm.
busying your mind, solving a problem usually, or taking steps on a tech tree, or discovering new things, or whatever. And meanwhile, when you're done, um, that was a nice, relaxing break from your life, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely gives you that feeling. So I guess really what it boils down to, MJ, is why do you think people like to play relaxing games? Like, what do you think is it just that chase for that cathartic feeling, or what do you think?
Well, this would be completely odd. Like, I wouldn't understand it, right? Because you really have to play a game that you have to kill zombies and slash things and be violent, right? Because that's just how games are. That's what games are supposed to be, right?
Right, right.
But there might just be people that don't want to do that, but
Mhm.
they want to play a game.
Yeah.
So I say that in jest because I'm like that. I don't want to kill zombies and slash things. I don't want to. I would rather do something where you're building something, that you're
Mhm.
completing a strategy game, or something. You're building, you're going moving up the check tree, or you're playing with something.
Mhm.
There's several games, in fact, that I've been looking at lately, and I've noticed there's kind of a pattern, which is they're all sort of building games, right? Like I'm kind of in a
Yeah.
building phase now. So is that kind of a pull? Or am I being pulled into the, hey, you need to play more relaxing games right now because maybe your stress level is pretty high?
Mm,
Could be.
possible. I know for me, when I think about why people would play that type of game or relaxing game, I also think it's an avenue of creativity that most people just don't have access to otherwise. So there's a lot of people out there that maybe aren't super creative. Maybe they can't do drawing art styles, or maybe they're not great at doing some of these other hobbies that are very artistic. But maybe if they have this cozy game that allows them to build and create a world of their own, they're given all the tools they need to do it. That's what can make these relaxing games enjoyable, is they can sit back and be creative, even though they may not have that specific skill set for being creative. But they can because those tools are already there for them. I think that has an impact to a degree because to me, most of these cozy games, they are about design, they're about build, they're about laying things out in a way that functions well or looks aesthetically well. Just depending on how you can figure things out and put it together. So um, I think that has an impact when it comes to cozy or relaxing games, and at least in my mind.
I have seen people get pretty picky on how they line up their little
Mm.
farming, what do you call them, little plots of land, how they line them
Mhm.
up. If that's not right, they'll erase it and go do it
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
I'm like, that's okay. Be perfectionist. I think, perfectionist, but for them, it's like, no, no, no. I want it to be perfect. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
And
okay,
sometimes
yeah, sure.
and sometimes people are just trying to maximize their values too when they get that picky. It's like, I know if I keep them this bit apart, I'll be able to maximize the area for my sprinklers to water the plants in the area or whatever. So they
I've seen
gotta
people
get
do that.
super particular.
Yeah, I've seen people do that with Minecraft. They don't want
Yeah.
potato farm. They want a potato farm that produces 15 double chests full of potatoes every time they hit a button. And I'm like, oh, that's no. What are you going to do with all
Why?
those potatoes? and it
It's
cooks
like
them. I'm like, what? You can't eat all those. They're playing on a single player.
mhm.
Like I promise you, the stream's going to be over by the time you've eaten 3 of them. So anyway, whatever, right?
Right, right, right.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, what are your favorite cozy games that you play?
So, I think I would, to a degree, call Minecraft a cozy game. It not always, and depending on how you play, it definitely is not a cozy game, but, generally, when I'm playing, it's usually to create farms of some kind or to sit back and build, and that's pretty cozy to me. I did really like Stardew Valley, and there was another game that's very similar to Stardew Valley. Hold on, I think it's called Lonely Honey? Hold on a second, let me pull it up. I'm
There are some
trying
clones.
to. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Oh, sorry, it's One Lonely Outpost. It's a pixel art game, looks really nice, and the whole point of it is you're kind of like terraforming a planet. Like you're trying to get plants and crops done, and or you're trying to make the planet kind of habitable, and you're also finding alien technology that's actually making the planet or helping you make the planet more habitable. That's another game I would consider very cozy though. It's pretty enjoyable game too. Um, but yeah, I think that's kind of what I think of as far as games that I've played that I thought were cozy. How about you?
We've kind of already talked about my kind of things. I like
Yeah.
American Truck Simulator.
Right, right.
I like, I'm just kind of going through mine. Subnautica can be that way because
Mhm,
like we talked about, Minecraft can be that way. Um, can't really think of too many else that is exactly like that. I don't play a whole lot of Stardew Valley, although I do own it.
mhm,
I do like the Hardspace Shipbreaker, of course.
mhm.
What else? There's some webby type games that I play. I just keep up with something. Because there's a particular streamer that I like, and they've got a game that they put out, and so while you're watching his stream, you can play these games. So I kind of like those. There's just clicky games. You're just progressing, doing
Actually,
little
and you
research
reminded me.
things.
Yeah, you reminded me too, when I think of another thing that's with cozy games is maybe just some simple story-based games where you're literally just like, there's not crazy gameplay, you're literally following the story of what like, a game that comes to my mind was, To the Moon. 2D
Yeah,
pixel art, top-down game. Um, it had a beautiful story. It was not an intense game at all. It's literally just walking around trying to find the different locations, to continue the story. To me, that was very cozy. Um, also got your emotions going pretty good. That teared me the game teared me up, but I
yeah.
enjoyed that, and I think that's another style of game that would be considered cozy.
Citizen Sleeper is kind of a neat game. It's not intense. There's a
Mhm,
lot of reading because you're reading a lot of
mhm.
little stories that you're advancing the story, and then you roll some dice and you figure something out or you gain something, and then you move to the next story part. Some stuff like that. I guess No Man's Sky could be that.
Yeah, I think it has aspects of it, except when you're getting attacked by pirates.
Yeah, pirates, and then also that there's some of those story elements that they like with the eyes and all that. The
Mhm,
sentinels and things that that's intense, especially when you're attacking that big tower thing and you're
mhm.
completing that storyline. Like, oof, forget it. It's pretty intense. You got the little walker thing, and you're like walking around. Yeah, it can get crazy.
Actually, and you just reminded me, Citizen Sleeper, for those that maybe hear if I get this out tomorrow, you'll have a couple days, but Citizen Sleeper is gonna be free on the Epic Store game right now. It's free from now until, let's see here, June 25th. So,
Is it one
if
or two or both?
it looks like it's the first one.
Oh, okay. It's a little older, but it's still fun. I've got both. I haven't done
Yeah,
two yet. I'm still in one.
well, it's there and it's free.
If you like playing a story and rolling the dice and seeing how it goes, you know, it's great. And it's not, intense. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of reading, but it's a good story.
So you got to be okay with text-based games.
Yeah, 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 for sure. All right. Anything else about that?
Not that I can think of. I think we covered everything.
All right. Well, what are we doing next week? We might be having a guest. I think I have a possibility and you have a possibility. So
We'll see what
it's very
happens.
possible we'll have a guest. If not, then we're going to try to see if we can make some progress on that Generations of Gaming. If we do, that's
Mm-hmm.
going to be probably a pretty intense episode. I don't know. It sounds like it's building up to be. Because,
A
there's
little
just
bit
a lot of research
more.
to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
research.
Yeah.
There's a lot of generations alive still, that play games right now. And so it's, understanding what they went through and what they do and what they, there's a lot to it. There's just a lot. All right, we'll
Yeah.
see how it
We look
goes.
forward to. Yeah, we look forward to whatever happens next week will happen, and we'll get no matter what, we'll get to Generations of Gaming at some point. I do find that interesting when you brought it up and looking at that article you sent. It's like, okay, there's a bunch of generations that we can look at. It would be very cool to go into what was gaming for them. Games have always existed. Like you can go back thousands of years if people were making games of some kind. So it's could be kind of interesting to see, at least within the last 100 years or so, what were the games like that people did. Anyway, that'd be cool. I like the idea.
It's definitely something I want to know. Like,
Yeah.
how old is chess? How long have we been playing chess? Stuff like
Hmm.
that. Go and other games. Just like interesting stuff. All
Hmm.
right. So we didn't have any comments. I looked back through about 5 to 10 episodes. I didn't see any more comments. So
Hmm.
feel free to comment on one of our episodes if you like. You can visit our website. It is at MJ and Blue Gaming, all spelled out, .card.co, CARRD.co. We have links there for our socials. You can learn a little bit about Blue and me and what we do, what we're like. Get get to know us. Speaking of the website, there's also some email there. You can send email. Feel free to send us a message. Share with us your history of gaming or what you thought. What do you think about cozy games? What are the cozy games you play? What did we miss? Did we miss a game that was kind of cozy that you love? I mean, maybe. Maybe you disagree with something we said. Maybe you like something we said. I don't care. Whatever. We'll talk about it. So like our episode if you can. If you see this on YouTube, go ahead and hit a like and then subscribe. We appreciate it very much. If you got some value out of the podcast, please consider supporting us. Best way to do that is to go to the Buy Me a Coffee link that is in the description or on the mjandbluegaming.card.co website. Every little bit can help us continue to improve the podcast. Thank you for your attention. I have been
Very good.
MJ.
And I'm Blue. Have a good one, everybody.
So long.